Hey everybody, this is Paul125 Roller Coaster Challenge, and we are here doing our full park walkthrough of King's Dominion. Now, if you followed us last year, you know that we did go to King's Dominion last year, but we never did a full park walkthrough. Believe it or not, we thought nobody would actually sit around and watch a 45-minute video of somebody walking around an amusement park. Guess what? We were wrong. So today we are going to do a full park walkthrough of this amazing amusement park, Cedar Fair Park, right here in Doswell, Virginia. Now we're here in March, so some of the things will not be available and open, mostly the water rides, but you will get a good layout of this entire park. So when you come on in here, you go right through security and you go through the ticketing, and you come right over here to the main, basically the main fountain area here, right by the Eiffel Tower, which is just like their sister park over in Ohio, Kings Island. They had the same kind of opening there, and it's a great thing to see when you first come in. Really gets you started for the day. So like we usually do, we're going to start on the right hand side. We're going to go all the way through the old Virginia section of the park. We're going to walk through Candy Apple Grove, go all the way out to the new section, which is Jungle X-pedition, and then come back through here and go through this side of International Street. So let's start the adventure. So as soon as you come on in there, you got guest services as soon as you start, and you got photography and all that kind of stuff there. And like I said, we're going to start on the right hand side. So right here is Plaza Gifts, which is pretty much the main store of the park there. You can get all your t-shirts, you can get all your squishmallows and all that kind of stuff here. I'm going to walk in here real quick here, give you a good idea of how big this store is. It is a pretty large store. Now, as you come over here, like I said, we're going on the right-hand side of the Eiffel Tower and the main plaza fountains, where they have a lot of shows and stuff like that throughout the year. This is in March, so a lot of trees aren't really blooming yet, but it's where you go. So over here on the right-hand side here, right by the plaza store, you actually get your strollers and all your upgrades there. And of course, you have a Starbucks, because everybody's got to have a Starbucks nowadays. So now, one of the neat things about this park in particular is all along the side of the fountains you have plenty of seating areas where you can grab different things from Starbucks, kick back and start your day right there. In the background, you're going to see Dominator. That's going to be at the end of our tour. But over here, right next to Starbucks, is a Build-A-Bear workshop there, and it's a pretty big store actually, if you can believe it. So I guess they sell a lot of them there. And I want to give you some of the shots of the fountain, because really, this is one of the best entrances that you can find at a lot of amusement parks. Once again, this is the Cedar Fair Park. And I forgot to mention, if you like what we do here, we love doing these Explore videos, but if you like what we do, make sure you like this video. That really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm there. And make sure you subscribe. We're doing 50 parks this year. This is actually park number 5, and it's March. So we're well on our way of hitting 50 parks this year. And if you like what we do, make sure you subscribe, because we do full-length videos every Thursday and Sunday. And we also do, every day we do 1 or 2 shorts. So definitely check us out here. So over here is a funnel cake store. And as you walk over here, you got a Cinnabon and a candy shop there with a candy apple right there on the sign. And once again, we mentioned that they have a full stage here on the far end, right by the Eiffel Tower. So there's shows going on all the time. I wanted to show you the beauty of this park, because it is fairly close to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, but they have a totally different feel, which is nice. Yet again, a lot of seating, which is great, because right up here is the Grain and Grill International Kitchen, and that is pretty much their top of the line restaurant here. So we're going to go over here real quick. I'm going to show you the menu, but this is pretty much the top of the line here. You got garlic herb chicken, you got beef sirloin, crispy pork, which is a weird way to describe pork, but that gives you an idea of all the different types of fare they have. And here we are right at the Eiffel Tower, which is a 1/3 scale. So this is your real first crossway. If you go over that way, you're going to head over there towards the kids section. But we're going to head over to the right and go through what they call the Old Virginia section. So there's the Grain and Grill, but they also have a bar connected to it too. And then you got restrooms. Now, to give you perspective, right there is the Eiffel Tower. So we were right next to the Eiffel Tower. It's always a great point of reference throughout the park because you pretty much see it every part of the park here. So the section we're going to go to first is called Old Virginia. Oh, by the way, right there's first aid. So if you do have a problem, make sure you aim for the Eiffel Tower and go to the right-hand side. You also have custom t-shirts, the airbrushes, and then of course you got a Rita's. And of course, being originally from Philadelphia, I love me some Rita's. So that's always a place I want to go. And then one last thing as you go around this corner here is the antique photography thing. So a lot of places are getting rid of them, but here they actually have, the full 9 yards here with the old-timey sepia tone. So right here, we're going to get ready to go into the Old Virginia section. Yet again, there's the Eiffel Tower for reference. So the Old Virginia section basically has a theater, it has Apple Zapple, and pretty much it's the quietest part of the entire park here. As you can tell, the music's actually dying down as we enter this section, which is kind of nice because a lot of amusement parks kind of overpower you with music. Not so much here. So as soon as you get in here, you have a refresh station. Yet again, this is March, so there's not much going on in regards to all the stands being open. I'm just surprised the park's open actually, but because of Busch Gardens being year-round, Kings Dominion is also kind of going year-round. So right here is a theater, right here on the side there. A lot more shows are taking place now, but again, it's this type of year. There's really not as many shows as, let's just be glad they're open, right? So yet again, this is a nice little wooded area here. It's more of an original side of the park. Now when we come over here, this is the antique car track. And we're gonna go by the entrance in a few minutes. But this is one of the longest antique cars that I've seen. And guess what? There's actually a squirrel right there. So, but yeah, this is one of the bigger tracks and stuff like that. There goes one of the cars right now. We'll show you where the entrance is here, but this is a really nice track. It's one of the better tracks that we've actually gone to for antique cars. Actually, wait, you know what? I'm gonna wait a second here because the antique car is around in the corner. So it looks like they're getting ready to open it because that looks like one of our professional drivers there who work here. So once again, this is the Old Virginia section. It's on the right-hand side by the Eiffel Tower. And what I like about this section, and I usually go here to go eat, is they got a lot of rock work and water work. It's where a lot of the water aspects of Kings Dominion is, like the log flume and such. But yet again, a lot of people, Busch Gardens gets a lot of awards for being beautiful, but this is pretty nice right here, this section here. There's a whole stream that goes through here, so you can enjoy that. All right, now we're starting to get into the main part of Old Virginia, and right to our left-hand side here is what they call the Parched Pig. Now this is another one of their bigger restaurants here, but what they definitely have here is drinks, and they've got Evil Santa, King's Brew IPA, Vixen Irish Red, and Buskey's RVA Cider. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, I do highly recommend our friends Coasters and Brews and some of our other friends there, the Drunk Riders. They seem to know a lot more about microbrews than we do here at 125 Roller Coaster Challenge. Now here's the Shenandoah Lumber Company, which is their log flume. It's a decent log flume, not one of the best we've ever been to, but we've also seen a lot worse. And I mentioned it once before, I'll mention it again, this is March, hence these water rides are down for the year. They're not going to come back until probably about April or May, so probably in a couple weeks they'll be going, but so that's that. Now also over here is their other major water attraction, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I actually didn't know this was actually around. It's Whitewater Canyon, which is a raft ride. So you got the log flume right there, and then right next to it is the raft ride. Yet again, this is closed, but I'm gonna walk back here anyway just to show you what it looks like back here. The one thing about this park is there's a lot of wooded areas, kind of like Kings Island, and you can really, wow, this is completely dry back here. But that is where the canyon ride is. So now we're gonna walk back. So if you're here in July and August and you are hot and the water park's too crowded, definitely come out here to the Old Virginia section and you can definitely get nice and soggy here. There's another restroom facility here, and right here is another waterworks section. I mean, that's really nice. I don't come back here that much because when I go to amusement parks, I tend not to want to get too soggy. But you know what? That's pretty nice there. So those are the two water attractions that will be opening soon. And right across from here is another restaurant. And right in front of us here, it is Old Virginia, but it's also Americana. And they got a giant replica of the Liberty Bell right across from the Park's Pig. And of course, you got some games. Right there is Grizzly Falls. And I'm going to tell you why it's called Grizzly Falls in a few minutes. And here is a restaurant here, which is closed. Yet again, off season. That is a very well lit area there. All right, so we're still walking through the Old Virginia section here. And we're coming up across, right over here is pretty much a bridge. And when you go across that bridge, that's how you get the antique cars. So we found the entrance to the antique cars. But yet again, the antique cars go for, I'm not gonna say miles, but pretty close to miles. And right across from the antique cars is the King's Dominion Theater. So this is your main theater building. So if you like shows, and the Grand Carnival is coming through June 24th to July 9th. I just saw that sign. But this is where you can go. This is air conditioned, right next to the water sections. And you can go right in here and cool off and watch a great show or a bad show. I actually don't know the shows. And right here, right across from there is a map. So you can have an idea of where we're going. Let me flip around this way. Probably be better lit this way. Yep, much better lit this way. So that's a map there. But right here is a Dippin' Dots. So you know you're at an amusement park because there's Dippin' Dots. Now right here, this is the Flying Eagles. This is their, basically their flyer ride. And well painted. They definitely are taking care of them. We already got a full deck here of people. But that is their flyer. And when you come over this way on the other side of the theater, so right there is the King's Dominion Theater, you actually have go-karts. So now, of course, like most places, go-karts are an upcharge. But this looks like a really fun, it's called Grand Prix Raceway. Looks like a really fun track. Kind of neat how it goes by here and everything like that. But there's actually an attraction behind there. Oh, there are the Flying Eagles going. And right there's Eiffel Tower to give you an idea where we're at in the scheme of things. So that's the Grand Prix Raceway. Now over here is what they call Grizzly Gulch General Store. So now this is closed right now, but the reason why I'm showing you this is mainly because this is how you get into the roller coaster called Grizzly. Now Grizzly is, last year we rode it, and not gonna lie to you, it was pretty brutal. It's an old wooden coaster. It's kind of like their version of the Beast over at Kings Island. And I wanna go over here, backtrack a little bit here, get you over here towards the Grand Prix so you can see it a little bit more. But you actually have to go through the store to get the Grizzly. Now, the reason why this is closed is Grizzly is being completely retracked right now, which I can honestly say was much needed. So we're gonna come over here real quick and zoom in because you can actually see some of the retracking. Here's the go-karts, give you an idea where we're at. So right there is Grizzly. There's a sign for Grizzly. And you can see they are retracking a lot of this ride. And I can honestly say it is much needed. Last year when I rode it, it was definitely, if it wasn't on our ouch list, it was pretty close to being on our ouch list. It was very rumbly, definitely vibrated a lot. So the retracking is happening this year. It will reopen later on this summer, and I can't wait to ride it then because it's going to be a much better ride than it currently was. So there we are again with the Flying Eagles. And right next to it, the Grizzly Gulch also has the typical mine ride where you buy a lot of bags of rocks, sand, and you can go in there and you can get all these different minerals. So you see these a lot. The first time I ever saw this was at Knoebels, but it's becoming a staple at a lot of these parks.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoy your ride.
There's a good view right there of the antique cars. And over here is one of my favorite food places because you can see right there, there's a nice little deck. You can sit back there and it's nice and quiet. You have a nice little fountain back there. And we're gonna go show you that in a few minutes. But now we're kind of opening up here. If you look in front of us, there's the drop tower and their upcharge flies. So we're kind of leaving the Old Virginia section here. That's one of their cool paths they have here. Great during the summer. But right here you got a boardwalk fries, where you can go there and you get a big bag of oil vinegar fries and go from there. There's one of the swings. So these are an upcharge. There we go. As they come flying back. So this is upcharge, more of an extreme ride. We like to call those Devon rides. And then as soon as you leave there, there is actually a restroom. So now we're kind of leaving the whole, look at them go there. So we're kind of leaving the Old Virginia and we're entering the Candy Apple Grove section. So this is called Extreme Sky Flyer. And like I said, it is an upcharge. But if you're looking for that extra thrill, you're good. So Candy Apple Grove is one of those, think of it as the main midway. Now the big thing about Candy Apple Grove is when you head out this way, you have the Wind Seeker, which is down today. But this is a kind of a standard ride at the Cedar Fair parks. There's a good view of the Sky Flyer and the people dangling now after they're done. Now this section was totally redone recently, mainly because at one point there used to be an old wooden coaster called Hurler. Well, that's now gone, and it's been replaced by one of our top 5, top 10 rides, Twisted Timbers. So now the way I just took you through Old Virginia is the easiest way and quickest way to actually get to Twisted Timbers. And it looks like Twisted Timbers is about to go up the hill here. But right in front of us there is the Jukebox Diner. You're going to see that at a lot of Cedar Fair parks. They kind of like this whole nifty 50s kind of vibe they have. But there goes Twisted Timbers going up the hill here. Now this is, to me, by far the best ride they have at the park. I will wait in line for hours to enjoy this amazing RMC. And soon I won't have to drive as far because we're going to have one at Hershey Park called Wildcats Revenge, which is opening this summer. So why do I like Twisted Timbers so much? Well, you're about to see it. As it hits the top of the hill, you're going to see that barrel roll drop right in front of us, and we're going to watch it go flipping through it. So here it goes. Love that element. It's one of my favorite elements here. But like I said, right there is the Jukebox Diner. And I'm going to take you out this way because there's actually 2 attractions here. So you saw Twisted Timbers, and there are also Twisted Tree right there. But right next to it is an old classic mouse called Apple Zapple, which was repainted and rethemed pretty much last year. Well, actually when Twisted Timbers came in. So there goes Apple Zapple. And right here is the main entrance for Twisted Timbers. All right, so we are at the far end of the park. If you look over right there, you actually see part of the retract Grizzly. So it gives you a perspective here. So we're on the far end of the park. So now what we're going to do is we're going to walk down what they call Candy Apple Grove. All right. So right here are the lockers, and here's Twisted's shop. And we love this because this has a lot of merchandise every year, new merchandise for Twisted Timbers and such. Looks like there's a lot of Simply Southern in here too. Of course, we're going to do a short on that, so definitely make sure you check our channel. All right, so we are now leaving the main area here, the corner there. Right there is the Eiffel Tower to give you perspective. We're basically right behind the Eiffel Tower. Now for this, we're going to go down the right-hand side and show you all the stuff. Like right there's Apple Zapple. And then we're going to go towards the back of the park, and then we'll flip around and come back through the other side, so you won't miss anything here. Once again, if you are watching this video and you like our Explore videos, make sure you like this video so the algorithm picks us up, and make sure that you subscribe because we're doing 50 parks. This is number 5. So right here is the entrance to Racer 75. Now Racer 75 used to be known as Rebel Yell, and right there's Twisted Timbers to give you a perspective, and it is a racing wooden coaster. The one thing about this park is it pays a lot of homage to their sister park, which is Kings Island in Ohio, and because it pays homage to it, it's kind of a knockoff of the popular ride, which was basically Racer, which started the Coaster Wars. So right here is the Ferris wheel right in front of us, but right there in the background you can see the first hill for Racer 75. And actually behind that you actually see Intimidator 305, which we'll get to in a little bit. So this is Americana, and this is our Ferris wheel here. But one thing I want to show you, because we're not going to be coming back this way, is this area they are also kind of using it for a theater. So right there is the Extreme ride they talked about before. There's the other side of the restrooms, but they have the Grove bar. So you can get drinks And this area here, they have a lot of performances throughout the year. And you can see why they call it Candy Apple Grove, because when you look around, they got a lot of these candy apples laying everywhere. But remember I mentioned before a place I like to go eat when I'm at the park, because it's a quiet area? Right there it is. That's called the Country Kitchen actually, but they have barbecue chicken and regular barbecue. So I recommend that. I am a pork barbecue connoisseur, but gives you a perspective there. There's that fountain that we talked about. And here's the little touches here for Candy Apple Grove. They got flowers and apples all sitting around here by their grand carousel, which of course, if you like carousels, we're going to have a short on this carousel. Pretty much check out our King's Dominion playlist where you can find all that kind of stuff here. While not at the same level as the Knoebels or Hershey Park, it is a beautiful carousel nonetheless, and they take great care of it. All right, so let's go back on our tour here. Right there is the Americana Ferris wheel. So if you like a traditional Ferris wheel, they got it right there. And of course, when you're coming down this aisle, you're going to see a lot, and I do mean a lot, of games. This is their main midway. I mean, right there you have basketball right next to Americana, which is the Ferris wheel. You have the height and weight, which I'm surprised they can still do that nowadays, just because you can offend people pretty easy if you overshoot some stuff. This is one of the newer games I've been seeing, the hang theirs. It's basically the longer you hang, the more prizes you can win. But really right here along where Rebel Yell is where all their midway games are. So it's not as many things. Hello. So this is the Candy Apple Grove section. Very colorful. Really much takes you back to the old midways and stuff. Got a squirt gun game here. Got Taco Shack. Now that used to be mac and cheese bowl place. So I'm a little bummed that the mac and cheese bowl is gone. But you know what? Things come and go, and I guess they weren't making enough money from it. Now, the one thing that you're going to find out, kind of like Hershey Park, there is a water park attached to this amusement park. And it's kind of in the middle. And right here, you can actually see some of the slides right by the drop tower. And the name of the drop tower is Drop Tower. So they didn't get too creative with the name here. But right here, so right there is Rebel Yell. Right there is Intimidator 305. But if you walk out this way, they've got a ton of water slides. And it's closed right now because it is March. However, we will be coming back and we will be doing a full walkthrough of Soak City. Because, we've realized people have actually been enjoying our water slide coverage and stuff. So here is Drop Tower. So if you look, it can seat a lot of people in there. And it goes up way high and comes flying back down. So if you're trying to find how to get to the water park, the best way to basically tell you to do it is to aim for the drop tower. For years we did not realize that. So there is Rebel Yell. You can see Rebel Yell, you can see Intimidator 305, and right there you can see a lot of the different slides on Soak City. All right? So now we're going to head back to the main walkthrough of Candy Apple Grove. But, we want to show you everything that is involved. So right here is the drop tower. And if you aim for the drop tower, right here is the entrance to the Soak City Water Park. And just like we said before in regards to Hershey Park, it is like right in the middle of the park. There's dry rides that surround Soak City on all sides. All right, so let's head back over here. And right here is a funnel cakes place and fried Oreos. So if you're not in the mood for funnel cake, you also have the fried Oreos. And here's some more games. And remember how I said it's called Drop Tower? I'm not kidding. The name of the ride is Drop Tower. So they did not get too creative with that name. And right in front of us there is the Eiffel Tower, gives you a perspective of where we're at. And there's some rides over there, but we're going to show you those rides in a little bit on the way back. So there is the entrance to Soak City, right next to the Drop Tower. And right next to that is their main pizza place on the main walkway. And it looks like they're doing some things called Flights and Bites. So if you're here in March, this might be a good way to, things to check it out and stuff like that. So that's the big pizza area there. Now we're still going down the main walkway and over at Candy Apple Grove. A couple more attractions, and then we're going to be heading out towards the newer section, which is Jungle X-pedition, and all the way to the back of the park, which is where you will find Intimidator 305. But right here, this is another wave swinger. So I don't actually know the name offhand, but flying trapeze, wave swinger, that's usually what they go with and such like that. And of course, you've got a Rita's right next to that. So let's give you a quick perspective here. So all the way back there is the Ferris wheel and the drop tower. So now we are at pretty much a midsection area here where you can go towards the kids section or you can go towards the back of the park. So there's a Rita's. And then of course, before you get there, you actually have a Dodge-O. But you know what, I gotta show you something. There's a lot of iconic things like the Eiffel Tower, but something that's 100% King's Dominion is the singing mushrooms. Happiness above, so goodbye, farewell, so long to worries, hello to smiles of joy, and goodbye to work and trouble, hello to happy land, So that's the singing mushrooms that gets you right over to Dodge-O, which is their bumper cars right next to an Annie Ann's. Now, as you come out this way, this is the way that you get into Jungle X-pedition and a couple other main attractions here. So, of course, you got the hennas and people drawing your face paint. It's kind of neat because you cross over here and all of a sudden you're kind of like in a different world. But like I said, we're going to show you everything. And right in front of us there is an entrance into Planet Snoopy. Now, Planet Snoopy is a completely different section. And with these, we actually do not do the kids sections. We do a separate video. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be Explore Planet Snoopy at King's Dominion. And we'll go through that entire section there in another video. But that is how you get in there. Now we got some more games. And we're getting ready to hit the newest section, Jungle X-pedition. Now, if you like the three-point shot, they got a three-point shot there. So Jungle X-pedition is pretty much what they call the entire back section of the park. And what we're going to do is we're going to work our way through the newer section there where Tumbili is. And then from there, go to the back of the park and then come back through. All right? So as soon as you hit Jungle X-pedition, you've got a restroom. They have plenty of restrooms here, so I am very impressed with that. And they have Explorer Supply, which is their main store here at Jungle X-pedition section. So I'm gonna, you know what? We're gonna hit this section real quick here. So it used to be, I think it was the Hungry Hippo, but now it's the Outpost Cafe. And this is pretty much the main food. So, well, right there is the main store for this section, and back there is how you get into the kids section. Right here is Outpost Cafe, where the main things are citrus roasted chicken, grilled sausage, and fire-seared prime rib. So that's another place to get a good meal, good dinner. So, oh, chocolate cake, oh, pineapple upside down cake. They had me there. Lemon bar. You know what? I wasn't really sold on the food aspect, but you know what? I really do enjoy the desserts they have there. So that was pretty impressive. So they did a lot of theming here last year, and they're still working on the theming. But here is an airplane right in front of the Jungle Market. Now, if you've been here before, the Jungle Market Eatery, this was the Hungry Hippo, which I just really love that name. I thought it was one of the better names. But yeah, like I said, look at the theming here. And that's more of a traditional, you know, they got pizzas, they got, you know, salads and stuff like that. All right, so let's go over here by Tumbili to show you everything they have in this Jungle X-pedition Center. Now, this is a pretty much a 4D roller coaster. There's a lot of them at the Six Flags parks, but this one is a lot smaller than the ones at Six Flags. Which is actually, I actually like this one better than the Jokers at Six Flags, mainly because it is smaller. So it looks like we have one going up. So to me, these have always been kind of like, I compare them to Plinko, where you kind of go up to the top there, and you kind of bounce your way back down. And your seats are actually on a rotation thing, so they bounce around a lot. Let's get a good view of it here, coming through. There we go. That one's not spinning as much as some of the other ones. But we're going to come through here because there is a couple other rides besides Tumbili here. So that's it. It's a very quick ride. For me, it was get the credit and be done. But also back here is Reptilian. Now, originally Reptilian, which is going up the lift hill right now, used to be called Avalanche and was bobsled themed. And now it still is a bobsled, but now it's more lizard-like, I guess would be the word for it. Great name, Reptilian. Kind of really like that name. But as you can tell, this is a bobsled kind of coaster where you kind of are free floating and you spin around. That is a huge line for Reptilian. But there it goes. That's the exit for Reptilian. But we're seeing it in a second going through this section here. There you go. So as you can see, as it goes around this section here, it's kind of trackless. Very free flowing, all right? So this is well themed. They did a great job here at Kings Dominion. And once again, we're about a half hour into the video, so if you like what you see, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel because we love doing these videos, but we need your support to keep doing them. So, all right, so there's Tumbili. Now over here is a building that, if you know anything about the history of Kings Dominion, this was a very important building. This was actually the station for Volcano, the blast coaster, and that has been taken out. It was an intimate. It wasn't in as great a shape as you would have hoped. So they took it out, but when they took it out, you know they're going to be putting something there soon. There's a treat store right here. You got some great walk work, but right now they're calling it the Research Center. But we know eventually that station is going to be used for something fantastic. So last year they opened up Reptilian. They opened up Tumbili. Right there is Dig Site Bites. But the other thing that they actually opened up, they opened up 3 things in this area. And the last one is, I'm going to mangle this name, so I'll let you read it. But it's basically a rethemed scrambler. I do like the Dig Site Bites. What do they have there? They got cookie dough and they got brownies and stuff. That's actually a pretty good thing here. But a rakicha, whatever it's called. But it is a rethemed scrambler. So they really, this whole little outtake section here, they did an amazing job. So I'll let you watch Tumbili go through one more time so you get a better view of what Tumbili does. That one's spinning pretty good. The last one did not. But this is a lot smaller than the Jokers at the Six Flags parks. But I like it better because it seems to be a little bit more fun. All right, so now we're going back to the main section here. And there's 2 rides in particular we'll come back to. So right in front of us right now is Anaconda. And we'll show that in a second, but we're gonna walk all the way to the back because back here is pretty much the big boy in the section, which is Intimidator 305. So there's 2 coasters back here, right by the chicken shack. Yet again, for the Jungle X-pedition section, their theming is definitely on par. They definitely spent a lot of money on theming. I mean, right here, there's nothing else really here. And they've got a giant waterfall. And right there's Tumbili waterfall. But when you walk out this way, you're coming back here. Now this is Flight of Fear. So Flight of Fear is a launch coaster. So you basically start here, but you see that great building in the back is basically where Flight of Fear is. And actually back here, I actually get a good view of the area that used to be the blast coaster, but you got a good view of Reptilian, which is the avalanche style, bobsled style coaster. So I wanted to show you that real quick here. So Flight of Fear, they have another one of these over at Kings Island. And pretty much if you want to see what the track looks like, go down the road to Six Flags America and you actually have the track layout outside. So that's Flight of Fear there. And then right next to it is the big boy, their Giga Coaster, Intimidator 305, which most people consider it to be the most intense coaster on the planet. I know I gray out a lot, I know I sometimes black out, but it's all the way back here in the back of the park. So we want to give you a quick little view of that, and then we're going to start doubling back and show you a couple of the other coasters that are in the area. Right now it's not open, it is March, but there you actually see the end of Rebel Yell. So that is Intimidator 305. Now we're going to start walking back. So right there is Flight of Fear. And now we're going to start backtracking and showing you some of the other things that they have here at King's Dominion. So we're more than halfway done with the video. So if you like it, make sure you like the video. That helps us with the algorithm. And of course, make sure you're subscribed, because this is only park number 5 out of 50. So we got a lot more to go. So I-305 is pretty much a dead end, but it is kind of, the water park is nestled in between there. All right, so there's Tumbili and that waterfall that we talked about before. So now we're going to hug this side a little bit more and show you some of the other attractions that are on this way. Now, this is the Chicken Shack, and there's a line out the door, so that's usually a good sign for people to know that it's actually a decent place to eat. But right here is a ride that's kind of brutal. A lot of people think this ride's going to be gone soon, and it's actually going up the hill, so it is operational today. And that is Anaconda. So Anaconda is a traditional arrow looper. So right there's I-305 next to it, so that's 305 feet. So this one's probably about 100, 150 feet. But what's neat about this is it goes over water, so you can actually get a pretty good view of it going over the water. Now at one point this was a giant lake in the middle of the park, but that is long gone, been long gone for a while now. So this is Anaconda. And on the other side there you can see Rebel Yell Racer 76 going by. Now I'm not going to lie to you, this one definitely snaps your neck a little bit more than you would like it to be snapped. But it is known for all the corkscrews and loops. Here's on a brake run, and here it comes through again. But yet again, as you can tell, there's a big line for it, so even though most coaster enthusiasts are not fans of Anaconda, there is a fan base for it as it comes by. So that is Anaconda. But there's also another coaster right in the area. Oh look, it's still going by. Here comes Corkscrew. Great view of the corkscrews. It's almost like I planned it. All right. And here is the Coca-Cola Marketplace, because product placement's always key. Give you a perspective. Right over there is the waterfall, and over there is Tumbili. So there is another one here. Now this one's kind of misthemed because this is Jungle X-pedition section now, right? So that's what it's called. But here's the entrance for Anaconda. And some great views of Anaconda. But they've got Backlot Stunt Coaster right here. So what is Backlot Stunt Coaster? So when this was Paramount themed parks, because at one point Paramount owned these parks, this used to be, I believe it was the Italian Job. So it's a launch coaster, kind of a family launch coaster, but it is, yeah, I would call it a family coaster on all here, but it's got some great theming. And it's a simple concept, you know, you launch, you're driving through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a quick little video of what I call the most iconic part. Now there is a lot of theming that goes on, but with a lot of these, the theming doesn't really last as long as it should. I know at one point there was a helicopter that goes, there's lasers, machine guns, you know, there it is over there going through that section right now, but I don't know how much of that is actually working. But the final iconic part is it kind of Kool-Aid manning through this billboard kind of thing. So we'll watch it go through in a second. But yet again, with the new theming, it seems out of place now. With everything else, you know, Anaconda still works, which is right there, because Anaconda is a snake in the jungle. But really, this and I-305 really don't hold up anymore theming wise. All right, should be coming through in a second. Here it comes. There you go. So it's a launch coaster. They are a lot of fun, but all in all, like I said, it's not really themed this area anymore. So we're gonna come back out through. So right here, this is the back of the marketplace, the Hungry Hippos it used to be called. So we're pretty much getting ready to leave the Jungle X-pedition Center. They have an icy mix-up over there. And right there is Tumbili right in front of us, to give you a point of reference. So we always saw the menu for the Outpost Cafe. So here we are over at the other restaurant. There's two restaurants back here, which is nice. I do like the fact that you have two choices. So Jungle Market Eatery is a little bit different. It's closed for the day, of course. But this one's more burger, fries, and salads, while that is a lot more higher end meals. All right, so now we are leaving the Jungle X-pedition Center, and we're going to be heading back. Pretty much, there's a couple things we missed over at Candy Apple Grove, and then we're going to head out towards the Dominator section. So over here is pretty much the kids section, right up against there, the Planet Snoopy. Main entrance to Planet Snoopy is over here, and like I mentioned before, we will be doing a full video of Planet Snoopy at King's Dominion, probably dropping it on another day. So definitely make sure you check out and see. There is the three-point shot.
Second shot, we got air ball. Third one,
all right.
Money ball.
So there is Planet Snoopy. And now we're going to head out this way, and we're going to make a right over by the Singing Mushrooms. So once again, before we enter Candy Apple Grove again, just want to say, hey, if you like what we do, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, 125 Roller Coaster Challenge. We are going to be doing 50 amusement parks, and you don't want to miss a thing. All right, so here's the Dodgem and the Annie Ann's, and right there is those Singing Mushrooms. So there's two attractions down here that we missed last time, and then we're going to backtrack and pop out right over on International Street, okay? So this is another path here where you could actually kind of hit Planet Snoopy, kind of miss Planet Snoopy. We want to kind of totally miss Planet Snoopy. So right there's another basketball shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out this way. So there's the drop tower, there's the pizza. So now we're running along the other side of Candy Apple Grove, which you can tell is Candy Apple Grove because, well, every one of those apples say Candy Apple Grove. But when we go back here, there's a couple attractions that we missed before that we want to make sure that you don't miss. Because we do a full walkthrough, Right there is the Eiffel Tower, to give you reference again. All right, and there's a restroom. I can honestly say that it looks like King's Dominion might have the most restrooms, which is kind of impressive, actually. So this is all games. So if you like carnival games, this is where you want to go. All right, so on the other side there's the Taco Shack, which we showed you before. Well, this is a classic flat ride called Bad Apple, which is perfectly themed, considering this is the Candy Apple Grove section.
He did the green.
So this is Bad Apple, right across from the drop tower in the water park. So that is a classic one. And then back here, years ago, there used to be a roller coaster here called Shockwave, which was a Togo. Believe it or not, there was Togos, and it was a Togo stand-up coaster. Well, they got smart, they got rid of it, and they decided, you know what? We are going to put in a flat ride called Delirium, which is a standard pendulum swinging ride. All right, so that's what I missed before. So back there is the carousel. So we're gonna head over this way, and we're gonna head up back towards the Eiffel Tower, and then we're gonna go back down International Street so we can actually show you one other little section of the park that if you come in and you make a left, you're gonna go right to that section. But most people go to the right. I like to go to the right. It seems to be what I do. So here's an arcade right here. And over here is the restrooms that I mentioned before. So we're coming back out of Candy Apple Grove, and we're gonna go up that path that we bypassed before. So once again, if you like what we do with these Explore videos, please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. I can't say that enough, but we definitely want to make sure that we're at 1,200 subscribers, and which is amazing. We've been monetized, I think, about a month and a half, and we already have those numbers. So that's very impressive for us. So there's the Dodgem, Singing Mushrooms, and there's the basketball. So now we're heading up this way. So on the right-hand side is actually the Planet Snoopy, and right in front of us is the Eiffel Tower. So here's another boardwalk fries. World famous, they say. I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to take their word for it. And as we keep going through here, there is a peanut show place. So that is the main stage for the kids. And over here looks like an old restaurant that they are re-renovating, which is always good to see. Now, all this stuff here with the kids section, they do have one of the bigger kids sections, so definitely make sure you check that out. But we're kind of hugging the edge there. Now, right there in front of us, that is Dominator, and that's where we're heading to. But to get the Dominator, you kind of need to go the other side of the Eiffel Tower, which is right in front of us. Now this is pretty much kids section here still, because if you look, these are all kids attractions. So we are cutting through Planet Snoopy, which I apologize for, but there's really no other way to get back up here to get back on International Street. Okay, that is cute though. The bushes are in peanut shapes. All right. So we are now leaving Peanuts, the Planet Snoopy section. And here we are on the other side of the Eiffel Tower. And there is a path right back through there that you can take that takes you out by the carousel. So we could have taken that path, but we wanted to get quickly over here back to International Street. Because even though Planet Snoopy is all right here, we wanted to show you the last section, which, for lack of a better word, I call it Dominator, because that is the main thing here. So here we are on the other side of the stage. So this is probably about a half hour ago we were here. And we went down there, there's the Grain and Grill with the bar. Now we're on this side, which is a beer and wine store on International Street. It's a pizza parlor. Then next to that is Southern Charm, which is, you know, like Simply Southern. That's where we want to go. Got some statues right here. Now, if you remember when we started this video, we were on that side of the fountain. Now we're on this side of the fountain. So this is Dominion Traders, which is another store. Now this store, if I remember this right, this is more legitimate merchandise. Not so much, yeah, you got Vans, you got that. So this is mostly merchandise that you can get at a mall or get online. And you got the short thing, and you got characters right here. All right, so right there's the entrance. And if you make a left, it's going to take you out to this section here. So, what is this section? Well, right in front of us here is a flat ride called Berserker. So this is a standard pirate ship, except for one big change. It actually goes 360. So you're going to go completely upside down on Berserker. And behind it is an old Geauga Lake ride called Dominator. And it was actually called Dominator at Geauga Lake. And this is a huge, one of the biggest vertical loops. Huge floorless coaster by B&M. So we're going to stay here for a second. Now, this is the definition of a parking lot coaster because it literally is in the parking lot. And there goes the train, so we're going to wait here for a second and get it coming through the loop because the loop is just simply huge. Now, that's actually the one coming back. But when you check out this coaster, this is, I consider it a top 3 coaster. Pretty much I am a Twisted Timbers fan, so I love Twisted Timbers. But I also love I-305. But look at that vertical loop. That vertical loop is huge here. And then here comes Berserker. So we'll show you Berserker going 360 here. Once again, this is as soon as you go in, instead of going to the right like I did, this is actually to the left. So it's right there. And when you actually go into the park, you're going to actually see that Dominator's right there in the parking lot. It's the first thing you see. And then right there's the Eiffel Tower to give you perspective. I think the next time, yeah, look how high that's going. I think the next one's going to go 360. So if you think this is a pirate ship, it is the exact opposite of a pirate ship, because you go... There is Dominator. And there is Berserker. All right, now it should go 360. There you go. You like hang time? There's your hang time. All right. So originally I thought this was more of a dead end, but it is not. This is actually a legitimate path that takes you out to one more attraction and the picnic groves. So we're gonna walk along this side here. Now originally, like I said, Dominator was actually a parking lot. So the park used to end right here with the Planet Snoopy rides. But that has changed over the years. But this is all Planet Snoopy over here. And definitely make sure that you check it out, because we're going to be doing a full Planet Snoopy walkthrough in another video. All right, so we're going to keep on walking out this way. So that's how you can cut across right there. And if you check out Dominator, Dominator is just, I mean, it needs a paint job, but it is definitely one of the better coasters, floorless coasters I've ever ridden. And one that's going by right now, that is actually Woodstock Express, which is the kind of traditional PTC small scale ones there. So if you take this path, it takes you all the way to the picnic groves. All right, so once again, right over here is Planet Snoopy, but there is one more big attraction down this way. And you know what? I wrote it a long time ago. I like it. It's not a marquee attraction, but when we do these walkthroughs, we basically show you every part of the park. So there is Dominator going up the hill. Yeah, Dominator doesn't get as much love as Twisted Timbers or the I-305, but it's definitely number 3 in the park. I think after that, you probably go with Grizzly. You know, it kind of drops off. You have, you know, Flight of Fear, you have Backlot Stunt Coaster and stuff, but it all depends on what you like. So, and you know what? I'm going to come over here. So that's a picnic pavilion in the amphitheater. But you know what? I'm going to show you some more Dominator here, just because in a second it should be whipping through. There it is going up the hill. Because this section here is kind of cool too. So let's get a nice little view of Dominator. Let's go through here, and right here is Woodstock Express. And then we're going to finish up right over at Boo Blasters. There it goes over the vertical loop. And then it goes through, I think it's called Batwing. And then it's going to come through here through the corkscrews. Yet again, this was a coaster from Geauga Lake. So even though Geauga Lake is gone, and it's quite a bummer that it is gone, it's good to see that some of the rides are still around. Flying Cobras over at Carowinds. Then at my home, Cedar Fair Park, you have Possessed. Here we go. Fun with corkscrews. So make sure you have your relief band or all Dramamine up if you go on Dominator. All right, let's get to the last part of this park here. We're closing in on an hour, so we appreciate you watching what we do and supporting what we do, because we do it for you. You know, we love visiting these parks. We love checking out the parks, and this is where you get to enjoy the parks. So right there is Woodstock Express. Now it's funny because we're pretty much just went around the entire backside of the kids section, Planet Snoopy. But over here is the last non-Planet Snoopy attraction back here. And that is right here. So right here's Planet Snoopy, right there's Woodstock. And then right here is the last attraction that we want to talk about, which is Boo Blasters on Boo Hill. Now this is a old dark ride, shooting ride. So you come back here, and that is pretty much it. And it's right up against Tumbili and all that. So this is Paul, 125 Roller Coaster Challenge, and we just did a full walkthrough of Kings Dominion in Doswell, Virginia. If you like what we do, please make sure that you like this video, it helps us out. And make sure you subscribe to the channel because we have a lot more videos like this coming. Thank you for watching and have yourself a fantastic day.